Hi, everybody. It's Jody. Hope you guys are having a great day. I just had a few words to share with you. Things that pop into my mind as I'm out and about. Just remember, energy is neutral, okay? So anything that we learn, like, in other words, don't fear things. When you fear things, then it's your own mind that is afraid of something, and you already have created within your mind that something is bad or evil. And yes, there is evil. And yes, this world is duality. And yes, it's important to be cautious and question and if you want, you even look into it, because when you shine a flashlight in the dark, what happens? You can see. And when you can see clearly, the fear goes away. So when you can see something and you understand what it is without judgment, but just by observing it and feeling it, you will know what to do with it. And I'm explaining this to you because this is what I have done. And I'm not saying that what I do is right for anybody else but me, okay? If you resonate with me and my words and my experience, great. And if not, that's okay too. This is where I'm coming from. And I'm not saying anybody has to be like me, because we're all unique and wonderful beings. But I believe that the God source, the creator of all things, guides us. He guides us in directions. I believe that we are never alone. And if we are guided in a direction and we follow that path, there's a reason. God wants us to learn something from the path, whether it be a negative path or a positive path. Everything is that we experience in life, positive or negative, is of value. It enhances us. And a lot of, I spent 9 years within a Christian religion, and I'm still a Christian, okay, but I'm just not in that particular religious denomination, say. Okay, I carry Christ with me all the time in my heart, and that's what we need to do. And I do believe that. I do believe that the main thing is to accept Christ and God within your heart, recognize that there is a creator, and that God is unconditional love, and that he surrendered his life for us, and opened a pathway for us to have everlasting life, live eternally. But that does not mean it's okay for us to just go out and do whatever. Within this world, it is dark and light. There is extreme evil and extreme light, perfection. And so we all resonate or are within the gray areas between the two when we fluctuate horizontally within our timelines. As we progress from a child to an adult, we go through positive experiences and we go through negative experiences. And these experiences mold us into who we are. Religion taught me to be judgmental. I don't believe Jesus is judgmental. Jesus is discerning. Jesus taught us to discern by people's actions, where they are at on the scale from dark to light. Now, some people are slower moving than others. I happen to progress pretty quick. And so the ones that are moving slow, it's not, if you have the mind of Christ, if you've accepted Christ in your heart, it's for us to come to understand and have compassion that everyone is at their different place, and the ones that are living in more of a darkened type of reality, meaning they have a lot of problems, they have a lot of chaos, they don't have a lot of answers as to what to do, they keep piling more stuff on themselves. We are the creators of our reality, and therefore we decide by our free will, God-given choices, what path to take. Now, mind you, a lot of us that have come out of, or have, come out of our own experiences, some look at these ones and we go, oh my God, oh, blah, 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 judge, blah, judge, oh, look at that, blah, blah, blah. I have to honor these people and not honor them like, oh, reverence or whatever. But what I mean by honor is allowance. Through my unconditional Christed love, with my eye of God here in the center of my forehead, my spiritual eye is open. Therefore, I can perceive that God is working with these people, and He is with them to help them, but they have to help themselves. And that's what people like me and other people that have gained some knowledge and wisdom through experiences are here to do. As guardian angels, self-proclaimed guardian angels, or self-proclaimed light beings, these are free will choices to be these things and to assist others in if they seek you out for help. And that's what love is helping somebody who's down and out, giving them a helping hand. That's what being a Christian's all about. That's the example of Christ. Not to put people down, not to separate ourselves and go, oh, I don't want to be around you. But to say, hey, yes, you don't want to be around that. In other words, it is healthy, very, very self-loving, and you must put yourself first. That is not selfish. You have to protect yourself and your boundaries and your energy first. All right, from negative energy, from evilness. But if somebody is wanting out of those situations and they come to you and they ask for help because they don't know what to do, okay, yeah, you can assist them if you want, according to, but we're not really supposed to interfere. And so I just display my information out there, and if people are led, I believe God leads people to other people. And if God leads somebody to my posts or my videos, and it's for a reason that they are able to pick up at least one thing out of something that I've said that may help them to make a better choice in their life, that's what it's all about. That's how I can help. That's how you let go and let God. I don't worry about followers. I'm not looking to be, like, oh, I'm looking for all this attention, or I'm trying to make something out of myself. No, we already are something. We're children of God. How freaking amazing is that? How freaking amazing is that? Okay? And yes, we need to stand in our light. And even the Bible says you don't take your light and cover it with a basket, okay? You shine your light. Shine the knowledge that you have. Be a beacon for somebody, because there are people out there that are hurting and seeking an answer, and they don't know where to turn. And so if we can at least stand in who we are and be extremely proud of that, not from an ego place, but from a place of, I love God, and God is within me, and I feel strongly about that, and that's who I am, and nobody's going to take that from me. That is like my rock solid foundation. Okay, so when you display that kind of strength, inner faith, determination, steadfastness, fortitude, other people see that, and you're like a lighthouse out in the ocean with your light shining in the dark, and there's a storm and boats are looking for that light because they're lost and they're being tossed around by the sea. And so that's how you can view yourself, you know, and it's okay to feel that way. And don't let anybody ever make you feel less than who you are, okay? Because you are awesome and you're amazing, and you've been through a lot, and you're going to go through a lot, and you're a survivor. And so many times we want to think negatively about situations that may be negative that we go through, and we want to beat ourselves up and go, oh my God, why did I choose that? It was just terrible. How stupid of me. I shouldn't have chosen that path. I should have known better, blah, blah. We beat ourselves up. No, don't beat yourself up, okay? Because there are reasons that you don't know, that you can't see right now. That's how spirit is. Spirit works in a secretive, hidden kind of manner, a veiled manner. And as later on, you'll begin to understand and see through the veil. You'll be able to see beyond the veil. You'll be able to see, as I do, spiritual things. You'll have spiritual understanding, spiritual discernment, okay, and to decipher. So, boundaries are good. You know people by their fruits. And what we want to do is try to have balance. And sure, we want to lean more to the light side. That's what I choose. I mean, people do what you're going to do. But in the end, we have to remember, if you haven't been taught this, there's karma. I see karma happening every day, instant karma. It's amazing. But when you have spiritual eyes to see, you'll see it. You'll see it. It's like watching God do his work, and he's there for everybody, but he's invisible, but it's so apparent. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. I'm so grateful for who I am, for the things that I've gone through, and the insight that I have. And me and God are like this, okay? We're one. The God that is in my being, within my being. I am a daughter of God, and so are you. It's, you know, and the Son. And so, praise be to God. And fruits of the Spirit. Okay, so there's fruits of the flesh, the carnal, and fruits of the Spirit. So if you're still stuck in the carnal, you're God, not God. You made yourself God because your body, the temple that houses God's Spirit. Okay, if God's there, and God is there, but sometimes you don't recognize that God's there. You don't see it because you're not putting God first. You're putting yourself first. And when you live by yourself, you are actually making yourself God. And a lot of people do. A lot of people don't want to recognize that there's a creator. And so you make your own choices because God gives you free will. But you have to pay a price. We all have to pay a price eventually for the choices that we make. And it's called karma. And if you have tested God to see whether you believe that God is real or not, and you have decided that God is not real, that you are God, and you are harming other people, you are harming other creatures, you are just satisfying your fleshly desires and needs because you're here on planet Earth, that's the deception. That is the deception that we must be aware of if you are on a spiritual path. Now, if you're not on a spiritual path, have at it. Go have fun. I've seen it. I've seen what it does. I used to smoke. That was my addiction. I didn't need to drink alcohol and do drugs and become an alcoholic and a drug addict. Cigarettes were my addiction, and that is a tough one to quit. And by God's grace, I was able to do it with God's power. And my free will choice. And so that's what working interdependently with God is all about. Okay? God is like I mean, it's magic. And when you're not taught about magic. You're not taught about energy, scientific things. At least I wasn't in church. And so, and I didn't understand, what's the Holy Spirit? What exactly, how does it work? What, I don't understand it really. And it's magic. It's the unseen forces that we see, or the unseen forces that are here, that, it's a neutral energy, and we're not taught about these things, but secret societies we're taught these things. Okay. But the problem is, everybody was supposed to know it. All this knowledge was supposed to be given to everybody. They were supposed to be guardians of the planet and to help everybody to learn these things. But they were afraid that, I believe, from what I've read, there were beings, parts of them that were afraid that if certain people got a hold of this information, that they would use it in really bad ways. So they kept it hidden. And so they would find people that they felt they could initiate into it and teach them that, and they would hold the knowledge and not abuse it, because it's very powerful. And you can hurt people with it. And when you don't want to do that, because that brings a lot of karma on yourself. And so I understand their concern. But dark beings infiltrated and learned, and they took over. And they used it for evil purposes. So actually there's two branches of those angels that came down. There's a negative and a positive, and that's what we see today. The good and the dark, and so those fallen ones, they decided to hoard this energy and use it for themselves, and they have technologies that are beyond what we know, because they've kept us in the dark. But there's some stuff that you don't want to know about, and then but unfortunately you have to know about it, because if you don't know about the evil stuff that they're doing, you can't do anything to stop it. Okay? And they are using us and creating victims. They are exploiting us through our naivete. Okay? And children. And so we have to wake up and realize what they're doing, because God does not want this to happen. We are here to save and protect children. They're precious. And so, sure, you can go, well, I'm not doing anything wrong as far as children go, so I'm fine. I don't have to do anything. Well, no, you don't have to do anything. But you can become a victim still, because you don't know what to look for. We have to educate ourselves on, unfortunately, the ways of the ways that we are being duped, and the ways that we are being deceived, and the ways that we are being tricked, so that you don't fall into those pits. Because otherwise, you're like walking in a field and there's all kinds of landmines that you can't see, and they can kill you, seriously. So you're going to have to get off your lazy butts. Did I say that? Forgive me. The choice is yours. But seriously, there are some people that are spiritually lazy. And so it's not judgment. I'm saying, I encourage you strongly to learn these things because I love you, because God loves you, and because we want you to be empowered. We would like you to have some kind of protection. Learn how to protect yourself. And this is what it is, a spiritual self-defense right here. You want to call me, that's a perfect title. I am a spiritual self-defense teacher. Bam. So, we got to learn it. And so we can protect the children. Imagine those children, hopeless, being raised by these people. I mean, we see it on the news all the time. These people that are harming and beating and molesting, and I mean, these poor children are just suffering on a daily basis with no help. And we have to educate ourselves on what to look for so we can be heroes. We can be there for them. And yes, we can interfere. There are certain things that we have to go through when we're here. We have to experience some unfortunate things. All right, because that's part of being here. And that's what gives us wisdom, is when you go through the dark times, the dark night of your soul. But let me tell you, don't let anybody ever make you think for 1 minute that you have to go through, as a child, being raped or beaten, abused. Enough of that has happened since the beginning of time. They've been doing this since the devil came down and tempted Eve. We have been under that deception. Okay, so there are beings that he taught people. Well, there were other ones. There were several different ones that came down with him, and so they're all, not only him, but the ones that came down with him are also teaching. Okay, that the naive ones, you want power, you want to be like God. Well, you got to follow me, you got to worship me, and you've got to give me blood sacrifices. You got to give me child sacrifices. Well, guess what? God never wanted that. That is a lie. That is the devil. God never wanted you to do, for us, anybody, you, to ever sacrifice a child, or to mess with the blood. There's scriptures in there that talk about that. Okay? And you're going to have to look those up yourself in order to find that out. And sure, just because Christ died doesn't mean you can just go around and do all the murder and drink blood and sacrifice children and do all this stuff. And for your own selfish immortality or your youth, this is artificial immortality, by the way. This is not the immortality that God is talking about giving you. This is demonic, so that you are deceived and you are addicted to this. And when you die, you become Satan's seed. You become you're not going in the right place. Okay, until Satan is done away with, and hell is emptied and hell is cleared, and so this is the war. This is the fight that we're fighting against right now for souls. Souls. Your soul is valuable. Your soul is very important to God. Okay? And I see so many people and they have no value for themselves. They don't love themselves. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to tell you I love you. That you are loved. You are precious. You are valuable. Okay? You are you are priceless, and they want you, and that's why they tell you you're nothing, you're useless, you're a piece of crap, you're they tear you down. Why? Because you are so valuable. You are so precious. You are beyond. You are worth more than gold. You're priceless. Okay? And that's why they do that. So think every time you hear somebody say something negative to you, you turn it around and go, wow. You know the reason why they're saying that? What they are really saying? I'm priceless. I'm fabulous. Wow. I'm really worth something. I'm really special. I'm really valuable. I'm really awesome. And you are. When you don't love yourself and you don't have that value for yourself, you become susceptible. You become susceptible to mind control. You become susceptible to somebody coming and taking over your free will and controlling you. And you give that free will up and give somebody else authority over you and think that you're not allowed to make your own decisions. You're not allowed to do what you want to do. You're not allowed to be who you truly are. And that's not true. Those are all deceptions and lies because they are threatened by your value. They are threatened by your power because you have God in you. And if you don't know that you have God in you, you give your power away to somebody else that you think is God, or you put up on a pedestal, or out of fear, you believe they have more power than you, and they don't. Just know these things, okay? And that how much I really truly love you unconditionally. You know, doesn't matter what you've done, all right? The main thing is when you come to a place and you don't want to do those things anymore, and you want to surrender yourself to God and become one with God, have a partnership with God. You accept, say, Jesus, come into my heart, and God, I believe you and believe in you, and I love you, and join me, be with me, and let's start co-creating heaven. Teach me how wonderful I am. Bless me, O Lord, because you're worth that. All right. So, I don't have all the answers. I don't, I just do the best I can, and I can only speak from experience that I've had, and I can just do the, like I said, I'm just trying to be an inspiration, and because as I grew up, I was looking for answers. I didn't have somebody that told me these things. I had people it was the opposite. You're going to go to hell. Oh, you're doing all this terrible stuff. You're going to go to hell if you're not good. Nobody's going to like you if you're not nice. Nobody's going to like you if you're not a good person, blah, blah, blah. And, and there's truth. There was, their intentions were good, but they were doing it from a place that all I did was grow up in fear. I was scared to death. I'm going to go to hell? Well, what can I do? I was afraid to move. That's like telling me hell's all around me, and you become frozen. You're like, well, I'm afraid to talk because I might say something that might make me go to hell. I'm afraid to move because any action I take might be wrong, and I might go to hell. And any thought I have that's my own obviously isn't good enough, and so I have to be careful because I might go to hell. Oh my God. Seriously, I was so locked up, blocked up, frozen, scared to death, and I have, with God's help, become who I am today. Free. So, between that and where I am today, I have gone through a lot of stuff, and people have gone through a lot more worse stuff than me. And those are their gifts. And if we can look and turn around and realize after we have healed, okay, and learn to love ourselves through that healing process, and nurture our inner child, and forgive ourselves first, then them, you have elevated yourself up to a healer. You have made yourself available now to be able to assist others through their suffering. You can be their guardian angel. You can put your hand out and say, hey, take my hand. Take my hand. I'm here for you. I will help you. I can walk with you as you walk through your challenges. Not do it for you. Not be there and give you all the answers, because then that knowledge needs to come from you, and it needs to Be your own personal experience, and that's because then it's yours. And when your experiences are yours, nobody can take them away from you. Nobody can take your knowledge and wisdom away from you. Okay, so I love you guys, really, and I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you here again when I am inspired to bring forth something that I think might help you, that God might channel through me to assist you. Okay. Take care, you guys.